what is the total cost of studying abroad? Maybe not like in numbers, but kind of just like what to keep into consideration.
First and foremost will be the tuition fee. Like almost in every country, they charge it on a yearly basis. So let's say like 5,000 per year or like 30,000 per year. So it's something that you have to pay once a year normally. Or maybe in some countries or in some universities, they give flexibility so you can pay it like on semester base. Other than that is the accommodation. So it's your room. So whether to pay for dormitories or if you are gonna rent a place outside, you have to pay for that. And then your living expenses. So to cover food, transportation, and then shopping. I think in some countries they might charge students to pay for like books and things
Mm-hmm.
like that as well. Not really in China. I mean, not in my experience. I think I did pay for books, but it's not a lot. It's like
No.
maybe about 50 RMB or something.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the materials are digitals. They just send it to us by WeChat, so
Mm.
like we don't really have books. And
Yeah.
then other than that is medical insurance. So it's actually very important that you have a medical insurance. So whenever something bad happens overseas, or if you're sick or something, that it can be covered by the medical insurance. So it's something that I think you should have, or I think in many countries, like in China, for example, international students must have one. So
Mm-hmm.
you can register for like a medical insurance from home that can
Yeah.
cover when you're in China, or if it's too complicated to do it back home, then you can also register at the university, and then
Yeah.
they will help you with the medical insurance, and then they will buy it for you basically, and you just need to pay
Yeah.
yearly through to the university. Other than that is the visa cost. It could be varies. Like for China itself, I think it's about like $100 or something,
Yeah.
or like less than $100. Yeah, but for other countries, it could be more than that. It could be like 100 or like almost $200. So you have to be prepared for that, and like the plane ticket and everything. So you can prepare some money for that too.
Yes, yes. So that is, and then also you have to look at like your accommodation. Are you going to be at the dorms? Are you going to be renting? And then also just keep in mind that some universities that maybe want you to pay for the dorm fees for a year upfront or maybe for the semester upfront, but it might still end up being cheaper than renting in the end, especially because you don't have to do a deposit fee or anything like that. Um, and then also just your general life expenses. It's going to cost money for you to eat food, and in case you maybe get sick, you need to go to the doctor, or you need to get something from the pharmacy, or you go out with friends. It's inevitable that you're going to spend money. So having something that's some life expense money. And I think that a good way for you to do that is to look up online about how much the cost of living is in certain countries. There's a couple of websites which give very accurate details on how much it costs to live in certain cities. Because even if you're in China, for example, which is known to have like low cost of living, if you live in Shanghai, it's going to be much higher than if you live in, let's say, maybe Chengdu. So
Yeah,
those are going to be very different. And just also budget to have a little bit more than that in case of emergencies, because there's always
yeah,
maybe sometime you overspend, you didn't manage it well, you don't want to be stuck somewhere and you have nothing and you don't know how you're going to like pay for the next thing. So that's just
yeah.
something to keep in mind that the cost of studying abroad is not just your tuition fees. And even if you were to get like a scholarship that pays the tuition fees, you still need to budget for like your other life expenses.
Yeah, that's right. And I think when you first arrive in that country, you need to bring more. So, for example, you have like a budgeted monthly, I don't know, like monthly stipend, like monthly pocket money. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
Monthly pocket money from your parents. For example, they give
Yeah.
you like 1,000 to spend a month for your food and everything. I think when you first arrive, you need to bring more than that because there's a lot of miscellaneous expenses. maybe you need to buy, maybe you need to redecorate your dorm room, or I think in some countries when you rent a place outside of campus, it's not come fully furnished. So there are some furniture that you might need to buy.
Mm,
It's not gonna be cheap as well. So that's why you need to be prepared, and it's better to bring like extra money so that you're not anxious or like you're not super confused over there. And then yeah, because
yeah.
it's the first time going abroad. It is already overwhelming. So let's not add more trouble to that.
Yeah. No, definitely. The last thing you want to have is be stuck in a place very far from family and then be in like
Yeah,
a financial issue.
exactly. I think it can make you feel very lonely and lost. So it's better to come prepared.